Subjects. Who or what is doing the predicate? This is our second subject-predicate lesson. As a reminder, a complete sentence always has two parts. There's someone or something doing something. Last time we looked for the predicate, which has the verb. In this video, we're going to learn about subjects. The subject is the person or thing doing the predicate, and it usually comes before the predicate. In all of these examples, the predicate is jumped, but someone different is jumping each time. Notice that all of these are nouns. The subject of a sentence will always be a noun or pronoun. Let's look at some more examples. First, find the verb so you know the predicate. Mrs. Gorf smiled. Our predicate is smiled. Who smiled? Mrs. Gorf smiled. So Mrs. Gorf is our subject. Todd yelled. What's the predicate? Yelled. Who yelled? Todd yelled, so Todd is the subject. This is pretty easy when we only have two words. Let's try some harder ones. I hate cabbage. What's the predicate here? Hate. Who hates cabbage? I hate cabbage. So the subject is I. Louis walked into the classroom. What's the predicate here? Walked. Who or what walked? The classroom isn't going anywhere. Louis walked. So Louis is the subject. Scoot hit her head on the ceiling. There are quite a few things in this sentence, but only one verb. Hit is our predicate. Who or what hit? Scoot hit. Remember, too, that verbs aren't always obvious actions. John is jealous of my new game. What's the predicate here? Jealous isn't something you can do. It's an adjective. Is one of our be verbs, though, so is our predicate. Who was? John was. Let's do a few weird ones. This looks like a job for Superman. Again, find the predicate here. What's the verb? The verb is looks. Who or what looks? It's not Superman. It's not job either. Our subject is this. Let's look at two sentences here that mean the same thing. First, the ants invaded the picnic. This isn't too tough. What's the verb? Invaded is our verb, so invaded will be the predicate. Who or what did it? The ants did it, so ants is our subject. The picnic was invaded by ants. Look closely at this sentence. Find the verb. Here's invaded, just like last time. But we also have was. We need both in our predicate. Was invaded. What was invaded? It's not the ants. The picnic was invaded, so picnic is our subject this time. Always decide what the verb is before trying to decide who or what did it. Let's have some practice before we finish. Remember, decide who or what is doing the predicate to find the subject. Sully was the oldest brother. Was is the predicate, so Sully is the subject. The sea dog sailed through the waves. What's happening? Sailed is our predicate. What sailed? The sea dog sailed. Lewis is the yard teacher. Remember our be verbs. Is our predicate. Who is? Lewis is. Miss Gorf wiggled her ears. If wiggled is the predicate, Mrs. Gorf is the subject. To review, the subject is always the noun or pronoun that's doing the verb or the predicate.